What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's another sit down talk session video, and like I said last week, we're doing that superhero talk. So basically, you come up with a superhero, you tell their backstory, their powers, and pretty much what they do. So
what is it?
Wait, you don't got one?
No. Oh, you don't got one?
I think I got mine right now.
You go ahead.
Alright. So, my superhero, his name is Shadow. His powers, I don't know yet. It's an unfinished product. But I actually made this character years ago, back when I wanted to be a comic book creator. Little fun fact, it used to be called The Dark Knight, right? And I had no idea that was one of Batman's nicknames. And so when my dad finally told me, I was like, nah man, you lying. I'm like, I've never heard him be called The Dark Knight before. He's like, yeah, just look it up. So I looked it up, and sure enough, one of his nicknames was The Dark Knight. And then also, funny enough, he looked exactly like Batman too, bro. Like, he wasn't like the same, but he was very similar. And I was like, dang. I was like, I don't understand how I wasn't really a big Batman fan back then. So I don't know. I am now, but Batman's cool. Anyway, so the backstory is his name is Steve Johnson. He grew up in a little town in Texas, and he lived with his grandparents. Was his grandparents? I think it was his grandparents. Either his grandparents or his aunt and uncle, aka Peter Parker. You know, superhero Spider-Man. Anyway, he was homeschooled for all of his life until I believe it was his 10th grade year. It was either 10th or his 9th grade year in high school. And he wanted to make some friends. He wanted to change it up, you know. So he went to high school, where obviously he didn't know anybody because he was homeschooled all his life. And that's where he met two friends. One was named Scarlet, and what was the other guy's name? What was his name? Was his name Nick? I think it was Ben. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, so they had a bunch of classes together, and they had lunch together. So they were able to become friends, you know, pretty quickly. One night, Steve's aunt and uncle were like, yo, we going out. So you can have your friends over if you want. So he called Scarlet and Ben over to chill at the house, you know, and they started to get a little hungry, you know. So they're like, hey, let's go get some meat. So they went to the Shub Shop, and Steve and Scarlet went to the Shub Shop. Ben went to get snacks and sodas from a convenience store or whatever. And when Steve and Scarlet come out of the store with their subs, there's this gang, and they're just joking around, they're drunk, and they try to hit on Scarlet. Hey, why don't you come over here and hang out with us, you know, leave that scrawny guy or whatever. And you know, they try to ignore him, and they go, you ignoring us? So they go over there and start messing with him, push Steve on the ground. You know, she's screaming for help, no one's helping. Ben comes out, he sees this, and he runs over and he tries to help, but again, he gets pushed down. So then he pulls out his phone to call the cops, but one of the guys mistakes it for a gun, so he pulls out his gun and shoots Ben. And then they get in their car and drive away. And Steve is just confused. He's like, why would you? He's confused. He's like, why would you do this? You know, it wasn't worth it. And he was like, you always have to do the right thing, no matter what. And then obviously he passed away. Years later, they moved to Empire City, and you know, Scarlet, you know, she gets a job at I think she was a news reporter. Yeah, she was an anchor. And Steve worked at the power plant, you know, a little side job. And kind of guess what happened, you know, explosion, gets his powers, which, let's move on to his powers. His powers are, he and his shadow can kind of merge together, and he can kind of become invisible, and he can kind of merge into different things. So It's kind of like a chameleon, where he can blend into his environment, but he can also phase into different objects and hide and stuff like that. So, you know, those are his powers, and I know it kind of ran kind of long, but that's the that's the basis of it. It's not a finished story yet, but that's just the basis of it. So, yeah, Shadow, this hero you'll never ever see coming.
Alright, I guess I'll go. So, my superhero is named Dr. Psychic. And basically, his backstory is a while ago, back, say he's in high school. His little brother dies from gang violence. And so he's upset about that, and life goes on, you know. Just as he's starting to come together and get over the loss of his brother, his dad dies in a car accident. So finally, he's like, enough is enough. So he decides to make some kind of device that can see into the future, hoping to prevent crime and death. So that basically happens, and he becomes Dr. Psychic, which he has the ability of teleportation. I think it was some kind of shock. It was electric shock and super strength. And then he kind of has like this villain that was his bully back in high school, and he's trying to stop him from taking over the world and all that stuff. Basically.
Before Zach goes, I just have to say, his superhero does sound really cool. So that's what I'm saying.
Huh?
His superhero does sound really cool. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, it's a cool name, you know, cool powers. I really like it.
So my character, his
The camera, remember you look at that.
so my character, his name is Heath Jones.
Keith Jones.
Heath.
Oh, Heath Jones.
Heath Jones. His superhero name is Atomic Bull. So basically, what happens is him and his family decide to take a trip to, you know, some little farm country area out in Greece, and they decided that they wanted to walk through, like, you know, farm pastures, you know, just like take in the scenery, the nice view, and but what happens is that it's a little weird how he gets his powers, or like his super strength, but somehow he his family, when they're out and about in the pastures, I guess there was some wild bulls. They weren't like in like pets or anything. There were wild bulls. I don't know what caused them to panic and go frenzied, but a stampede of them just started coming towards them. They tried to get out of it, but his family ends up dying because a bunch of bulls like stomped on him, but Heath ended up surviving, but that's not how he gets his powers. He gets his powers by getting shocked. Like, he basically, like, he was at a hospital and somehow it gave him, like, he was fighting for his life, and he ended up getting, they were trying to revive him with, like, you know, the little, where they do that, and but it ended, and instead of helping, well, it helped him revive, but it gave him powers. So it's a little weird, but he has like electrical powers,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got super strength. So basically, that's how he got his powers, is by being electrocuted back to life, basically. Because he was basically dead.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up saving him, but they couldn't save his family.
So, question: how did he get the name Atomic Bull though? Because he survived the bull attack.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically, he's like, I survived a bull attack, a stampede of bulls. Atomic. I mean, I don't know if atomic means electric or anything like that, but
Atomic is more like
atomic waste or something like that.
sure.
I don't know. It's just something he came up with.
Maybe it should be like Lightning Bull or something, or I don't know.
Lightning
it's
Bull?
It's your superhero.
Yeah.
Bull Lightning. I don't know.
Bull Lightning.
I just thought atomic bull sounded
I
better.
mean, that sounds cool. It's better than Bull Lightning. The Lightning Bull.
whatever you're trying to come up
I
with.
don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know.
But Atomic Bull, that sounds better.
Alright. That's it.
You know what we should do next time? Well, I mean, it is your thing, but we should do super villains.
Super villains.
That would be a tough one.
Yeah.
I've never thought about
Me
supervillains.
either.
But I'm willing to give it a try. So, like you said, but I think it's good, even though it is your channel. But I mean, every super villain hero has has a nemesis.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Batman is
Which I kind
Joker.
of said in my backstory.
You did. Batman, you know, Joker. You know, Superman, Lex Luthor. Spider-Man, Green Goblin. So everyone has that villain that's just like, you know, they're gonna go toe to toe, and for the most part, they're evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a slugfest to see who wins. So, I mean, I'm game if y'all want to do it.
I'm down with that.
I'm down.
Super villains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a struggle. We'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be challenging.
It would.
It'll be challenging. It will be.
How do you fight a shadow, bro?
How do you?
We'll find out, bro.
Yeah. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Yeah, like we said, supervillains will be next week's topic. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe to Steve's channel,
Stevie Black. STEVEE, the Black.
and subscribe to Zach's channel.
Zack Attack.
Oh, you wanna
All day, every day, bro.
I was gonna say you want to show them the shirt, but it's not the Dream Squad channel.
Yeah.
This is your channel.
Yeah, and with that being said, I must bid you adieu.